What's going down, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Holmes Hobbies Motor Control. It's your boy Josh, aka Coleman. We're in the studio, and once again, we're talking about brushed motors. You guys know it. It's a continuing theme. It's something we've been doing for a little while now. A few more episodes probably, just because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to brush motors. And a lot of it's just basic stuff. I mean, you can really get deep when it comes to brush motors. We're not going to go too deep, though. But we are going to talk today about cleaning these little things, man. A lot of people kind of just take it for granted. They don't ever clean them. They don't ever, maintain them, I guess you can say. They just break them in and run them, and that's it. They die, they die. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about cleaning, because that can extend the life of this motor, all right, which is going to extend your enjoyment of this motor. Not just this motor, any brush motor really. But the way to do that is, well, it's not really a technical thing, and there's a variation of ways you can go about doing it, but there's a few key points you need to keep in mind, and that's what we're going to talk about. First things first is getting the dirt, the grit, all that nasty stuff out after running the snot out of it, okay? So you want to go rebuild it, you want to put new brushes in, all that, and you want to clean it all up in the process, right? So time to clean it, right? A lot of people just take it, put it in water, and run it in the water and do that to get it out. I'm not a big fan of doing that because I don't want water in there. Water is corrosive. I don't care what anyone says. If it's distilled, then you're okay, but then you still have the issue of rust if you don't completely dry it. So personally, I don't want to just run it through water. There's other ways to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there for other people that want to do it a different way, I guess. Basically, what you can do, and this is what I do, I like to use motor cleaner, okay? Not just any motor cleaner. It has to be an electronic brushed motor cleaner, okay? Something that's meant for this type of contraption, whatever you want to call it, because there are glues and things in here, okay? You don't want to just put any type of degreaser or whatever on here. You don't want to just put weird agents on this, okay? Because agents, I don't know if that's the right word for that, but you don't want to just spray anything on these, okay? There's glues and all kinds of adhesives and stuff in here that hold parts together and things, and you don't want to degrade the structure of those adhesives, okay? You don't want those things to, wear out or whatever. Yeah, you just don't want that. So what I do is I spray it out with a KAINE product. I use this one. This is Clean right here. Pow, right? Comes with a little straw in the back, okay? Clean is a KAINE product that is actually formulated for cleaning brush motors and other parts of RCs, honestly. It's really useful. But between that and these, I'm pretty much taken care of. So what I do is I will take these and I'll spray them, depending on the motor and how expensive it is and what it means to me. But usually, typically what I'll do is I'll take the motor completely out of the vehicle, take the pinion off, disconnect the wires, like take it out of the car, get it like this, right? So you can clean it. Then if you want to, if it's like a rebuildable motor, you can actually take it apart, right? Clean the inside of the can, everything like that, and have access to everything. And then while you're at it, you can rebuild the motor, replace the brushes, cut the comm, all that stuff. But if it's non-rebuildable like this, you at least want to get it out of the truck, the car, whatever you're running it in, right? Then what I do is I'll take my Clean and I will just spray the holy snot out of this. Start from one side, spray it all the way down, all the way throughout the other side, flip the thing over and I'll spray it all the way back the other way. I'll rotate it a few times, not a lot, just rotate it a little bit, because there's going to be grit in there. You don't want that grit to break into anything or to grind on anything or create any friction that's unnecessary, right? Just spray it all out and slowly rotate it a couple times just to make sure you're getting everything, right? Get all of it out, flood it out, let it run out, right? Then what you want to do is take, like I use this. This is turned into a KAINE episode, but I use Jet Blaster. That's because I use KAINE products, you guys. I'm sponsored by KAINE, so I've been sponsored by them for years and years. So I use KAINE products, but you want to use not compressed air, but a lot of air. You can use compressed air, I guess, but you want to blast this out with air so that it's dry. The goal is to dry it, air dry it, right? You don't want anything left in there. You want to get it all out, right? Maybe do that a couple times. Spray it out, then dry it, spray it out, then dry it, and you'll wind up with a super clean motor. But then at that point, you're going to need to lubricate the bearings. So with the non-rebuildable, you're going to have to just do it from the ends, okay? And I mean, it's just, you're going to have to work with what you got. Some of them don't even have bearings, and the ends aren't non-rebuildable. They'll have bushings. So, but for the bearings, you're gonna want to lubricate the bearings, okay? So on a rebuildable one, it's usually best probably to take the whole thing apart, and you can even probably remove the bearings and do them on the bench, you know, separate from the motor or something. But spray the bearings out really good. Then you want to turn around and lubricate the bearings. And again, I use CalRC product, this Mousse Slick. So I'll use Mousse Slick. You don't have to use that. You can use whatever you have there, as long as it's an actual like a 10W30 or lighter. You want a light lubricant. All right, so the reason for that is because you don't want it to attract dirt and cling. You don't want dirt to stick to it and stuff, right? You want it to be super thin and viscous. That way the bearing can rotate, and the ball bearings inside of the bearing can rotate, all right, really, really easily. No friction, no resistance, no nothing. If it's thick, you're gonna have resistance. It's not gonna rotate as freely. So then when you put a wheel on or whatever, maybe a motor, it depends on, this goes for cleaning any bearing, not just motor bearings. But when you clean bearings, you're gonna need to, or when you lubricate bearings, you're gonna want them to spin freely, super easily. The reason I use this is because it's like a silicone protectant, okay? It's like a dry lubrication almost. So I can lubricate them. It doesn't attract any dirt, that spins with zero resistance, and I've done tests before to see cleaning bearings with this stuff in normal, like, you know, Trinity or whatever, and this works better for me so far. It just has. So I use this on my motors too so far, and you want to be careful. You don't want to spray this all inside your motor and everything. You just want to spray your bearings. So if you can take it apart, if it's a rebuildable motor, try to get, you know, the bearings out and away from everything so you can get them cleaned on both sides and everything. But yeah, that's really about it, you guys. You just want to make sure that you get it all cleaned out with an electronic motor specific cleaner, okay, like a alternator cleaner from your parts store, or something that's meant for brushed motors, right? And then you want to lubricate it with something that's going to be 10W30 or lighter, super viscous. That way it doesn't attract a lot of dirt and it just rotates easily. That's really the goal there. I recommend these products just because I've been using them for years and they really work good for me. And now that I'm using them on motors and stuff, you know, with the newfound brushed motor knowledge that I'm getting here, it's working out great. So that's about it for today. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about on the next episode yet. I got to think about it. I've had a few recommendations for you guys, or from you guys. If you want to, you can always leave recommendations in the comments. I always appreciate it. But anyways, you guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to clean my shop up because it's a mess. So, all right, you know what it is. Peace and chicken grease. I'm going to see you guys out on the trails. Yeah.